Welcome to the episode where narrative and storytelling take a back seat. Here we will focus on the more academic side of history and discuss facts which we may have missed in the original video. Basically, this is the episode for the historian. To make our video on Gopala, we mainly relied on three sources. The Godavaho by the 8th century poet Vakpati Raja, the Raja Tarangini by the 12th century historian Kalhana, and the history of Buddhism in India by the 16th century scholar Taranatha. In addition to a range of more contemporary books on the subject, I must mention that most academic sources don't have that much information in them, as only so much can be gathered from sources which, let's say, have an element of magic in them. As such, we've had to carefully interpret the available evidence, drawing on implied facts, to present a coherent and engaging narrative. At the start of the video, we indicate that Gopala was born in 700 CE. This is really an approximate date, implied by the fact that Gopala took the throne around the 750 CE mark, when he was already somewhat elderly. We know that Gopala's father was Vapyata, who is said to be a killer of enemies, and his grandfather was Daita Vishnu, who is said to be all-knowing. It could accordingly be guessed that his father was a warrior, whilst his grandfather was a sage. The scene depicting them awaiting Gopala's birth is a fictionalized representation created to illustrate his humble beginnings in Varendra. In the video, we mentioned that Daita Vishnu observes auspicious signs on Gopala. This detail is inspired by Taranatha, who states that Gopala displayed such signs but does not elaborate on their nature or whether they were linked to any Buddhist prophecy. Given that both Gopala's family and Taranatha himself were Buddhist, we drew upon the Lakkhana Sutta, a Buddhist text, to interpret what these auspicious signs may have been. In the video, we depict Gopala as learning the skills to become a warrior from his father and spirituality from his grandfather. While historical sources do not explicitly mention this, we inferred it based on his latter reputation, as he was known for both military prowess and religious devotion by the time he ascended to the throne. We accordingly considered it reasonable to assume that he acquired these skills at some point before his rise to power. In the video, we suggest that Gopala chose to become a monk in response to Yashovarman's oppressive rule in Bengal. While the historical sources are silent on this, we found the implication to be compelling, especially given that these events unfolded around the same time and culminated in a unified Bengal under Gopala. On the other hand, Taranatha's account simply states that Gopala became a monk at the command of the Buddhist deity Chundi. Believe what you will. In the video, we depict Gopala as traveling across Bengal to spread Buddhist teachings. While the sources do not explicitly state this, we considered it a plausible way to bridge the gap in historical accounts, explaining how, according to Taranatha, a humble monk from Varendra became well known enough to ascend the throne of Vanga. If one accepts that Gopala was a devotee of Chundi, it follows that his influence could have grown through his efforts to promote Buddhism. This version of events also helps explain Gopala's success in uniting Bengal under his rule. It suggests that his familiarity with the land and his interactions with the people allowed him to build a following across Bengal, which in turn strengthened his position and aided his conquests. It was as if his experiences had given him both insight into the region and the loyalty of its people, laying the groundwork for his later achievements. In the video, we suggest that news of Lalitaditya's betrayal of the king of Gaur served as Gopala's inspiration to seek the throne. While historical records do confirm that this event deeply shocked the people of Bengal, some even sacrificing their lives in protest, they do not explicitly link it to Gopala's decision. Taranatha simply states that Gopala prayed for a kingdom and was divinely inspired to move east to claim one. Our version adds a dramatic layer to the story, but the true catalyst remains open to interpretation. In the video, we depict Gopala as nominating himself for kingship before being elected by the people. His election is briefly mentioned in the Kalimpur copper plate, which states that Gopala was a person whom the people may take the hand of fortune to put an end to the practice of fishes, confirming that he was chosen by popular support. However, the exact details of the process remain unknown. Taranatha's account presents a different version, claiming that concerned parents paid Gopala to take the throne instead of their son, as the new king was expected to die the next day. While it is plausible that ruling Vanga was perilous at the time, we found this account to be over the top and difficult to accept at face value. The version presented in the video attempts to strike a balance between the various sources while maintaining a logical narrative. In the video, we propose possible ways in which Gopala may have expanded his realm across Bengal. However, historical documents do not specify the exact borders of his kingdom or the details of his conquests. Taranata suggests that Gauda was conquered by Dharmapala, which might imply that Gopala did not control it. However, the same source credits Gopala with constructing Odantapuri in Magad, raising the question of how he could have bypassed Gauda, which lies between Vanga and Magad. One plausible interpretation is that Gopala initially conquered Gauda, but it was lost and later reconquered by Dharmapala, an event consistent with Dharmapala's turbulent reign, as will be covered in the next episode. For simplicity and considering that Gopala likely laid the foundation for Dharmapala's later expansion, we have estimated Gopala's realm to cover the lands shown in the map provided in the video. This estimate is supported by historians such as Jhunu Bakchi, who presents primary source material in support as presented in his book, The History and Culture of the Palas of Bengal and Bihar. At the end of the video, we mentioned that Gopala invested in raising Dharmapala well, which is an inference made with the benefit of hindsight given Dharmapala's later rise to imperial power. We intentionally glossed over Taranata's more fantastical version of events, which complicates the father-son relationship unnecessarily. According to Taranata, Gopala's queen attempted to charm him with a magic herb, but it was lost and eaten by a Naga king, who then impregnated the queen, leading to Dharmapala's birth as the son of the Naga king and Gopala's successor. Yeah, you can probably see why we decided to skip this story. Thank you for watching this video. If you like the fun map of Bangladesh I had in the background, please do buy it from the link in the description as it will help our channel grow. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share as it will help us immensely. And if you want to go that extra step, you could also support us through our Patreon. Catch you all in our next video.